I've never had a book impact me the way the book we're going to talk about today has impacted me. The last time I had a feeling like this is when I first read The Meditations by Marcus Aurelius. Cliche, I know, don't judge me. But something about that book just clicked with what I needed at the time. I feel so detached from Marcus Aurelius, this guy that lived many, many years ago, who was, the Roman emperor. He's so far removed from anything that I could be, But the guy that we're going to talk about today, or at least the book, for some reason it clicks. And even this individual is nothing like me, and I am nothing like him. But I feel like his life is very much more attainable. And there's just something about the way he writes that really, really landed with me. And I'm so glad that I finally found the book that kind of hits me in the perspectives. You know what I mean? You get those books that hit you in the feels. You get those books that like make you laugh or whatever, or make you cry. This book will probably make you do both. But for me, it just made me extremely filled with gratitude. And I think that's exactly what he intended. That's exactly what the author would have wanted from anyone reading this book. So mission accomplished on that one. As I said before, the biggest thing that I took away from this book is really, really, really trying to focus on gratitude. I've gone back to journaling recently, which is really good for my mental health. I'd recommend anyone give it a go. It's not as hard as you think. Tackling blank page syndrome, just write anything down, just literally write. I don't know what to write. I do not know what to write. Write that down until you've got something to say. One of the big focuses is definitely gratitude. And I keep catching myself drifting away from being happy with what I've got. I've got a beautiful family. I'm healthy. I've got books. I've got films. I've got the outdoors. There's a lot to be really happy with. And reading this book, it was I remember when I first picked it up, because it was kind of a research project for something else that I'm looking at doing. But I breezed through the first kind of 5 to 10 pages and I just couldn't put it down, and that's great. But I just remember it slapped me in the face. I picked it up and I wanted to be sad. That's the first thought that I had, is I really want to be sad about what I'm reading, and I just couldn't. It slapped me in the face. It made me instantly get my shit together on that day. Whatever was bothering me didn't bother me anymore. That's the kind of book we're dealing with. So the book I'm talking about today is A Beginner's Guide to Dying by Simon Boas. Simon was a journalist. He was an aid worker, a Samaritan who'd been all over the world delivering aid, delivering help to third world countries and war-torn countries. And he was diagnosed with terminal cancer in his throat in his mid-40s. And his doctor had basically told him, it's just severe reflux. And it had been going on for a year, it had been going on for a long time, pre-diagnosis. And by the time it was looked at properly and diagnosed, it was terminal. It was late-stage progressive cancer. And he only had a matter of weeks, really, to process all of this information. And that's what this book is. This book is kind of his... he wrote a series of articles in a newspaper in Jersey, in the Channel Islands, which I think is another reason why the book connected to me, because currently, I'm recording this right now in Guernsey, which is a neighbouring island of Jersey. And there's a weird sense of community and kinship when someone from one of the islands achieves something or something devastating happens. People do tend to come together. And I think that's kind of what caught my eye about the book. I picked it up for research purposes for something else, and I just couldn't put it down when I picked it up. So the book is basically a series of articles that Simon wrote, and it's kind of him coming to terms with his cancer diagnosis in real time. And like I said before, one of the main things that stood out to me and hit me is this guy is the epitome of right here, right now, in this moment. And he writes about that. He writes about, what else is there? We're all going to die. His window was just really short, but he'd lived a really long, healthy, beautiful, adventurous life. And he puts all of that in here. And his writing is so relatable. He's a very well-educated, privileged man, and he talks about that a lot in the book. If you are very well-educated and very well-read, this book will be accessible to you. If you are new to books or you're just trying to get back into reading, this book is absolutely accessible to you as well. He writes in such a he kind of writes like you're having a conversation with him, and it's flawed. The punctuation's probably not great. It's a bit all over the place. And he mentions that. He mentions how he just had to write things down. He was running out of time. There was no time for perfection. But his gratitude and his acceptance is like, it makes me want to have known him as a man. He's funny, he's charming, he checks his own privilege. He talks about religion. The book goes into kind of faith and stuff like that. If you are looking for a book to inspire you, pick this book up. Honestly, it kind of, I don't want to go as far as saying it's changed my life. I don't know if that's a thing for me, you know what I mean? But it's definitely made me, it hit me, it slapped me across the face, like impacted me really quickly and made me check my gratitude, and I couldn't put it down. Honestly, this is an amazing book. It's a book I'm going to keep with me. It's not going to be in a bookshelf. It's going to be a book that probably travels with me, because there's a few lines in here that really just kind of, I need to reflect on them. I always want to go back to a few of the things that he said. I think he talks about how we don't talk about dying enough. Other countries around the world for years, including the UK, we used to talk about death. It used to be part of life. Now it's such a taboo subject. He really takes away the taboo of death. And he almost takes away the fear of death in this book as well. And honestly, it was a joy to read. I thought I was going to be devastated. I thought it was going to be, just like, why did I read this? This is horrific. But it's not. It made me very present. It changed my perspective on a lot of things. It made me want to get rid of my iPhone. It made me want to get rid of my smartwatch, which I am wearing at the moment, but I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to go back to analog as best I can and really focus on being present, because that's something that I've been toying with for a long time. He talks about that, and what better person for that to come from than someone who's running out of time. Honestly, it's a fun read. You wouldn't believe that a book called A Beginner's Guide to Dying is fun. It's hilarious. Yeah, you've just got to pick it up. There's not really too much more I can say, because it is what it is. It's basically a series of articles, like I said before, and then towards the back he goes into like the do's and don'ts of how you should communicate with the dying and how the dying should communicate with you. I don't really know what more to say, apart from I really wish that I knew him when he was alive, and I hope his family are really proud of him, because it's a masterpiece. It really is. It's a masterpiece. The fact he put this together whilst he was dying, whilst having a really finite window to achieve this, is honestly amazing. That's a testament to who that man was when he was alive, and now he gets to live on, forever in his work. And pick it up, please do. It will change your perspective. If you're looking for something right now, I don't want to say if you're lost. If you're going through something and you need help, you got to go and get help, right? You can't just pick up a book and think it's going to change everything. But if you're on a kind of journey and you're ready to take some steps into kind of gaining better perspective on life and being more present, then this is the book for you. Pick it up.